So today we start a new series. Going to learn book Halachos of Brochos. So we're going to cover halachas on all of the kind of fruits, smells, etc. All right. So we continue with our Sefer Halachos of Brochos. And it says, one second. And it says the big topic tells us for the subject benefit, and today's topic helping others to improve. Okay. The first category of constructive purpose is to help a person about whom one is speaking. So basically, like, we want to speak to somebody who might affect that person for his own benefit. Right? There is a tendency among many to ignore the misconduct of others in favor of live and let live. So that's what many people do. They just pretend they do not see, right? So that's absolutely wrong. Live and live and let live attitude. Let us first understand why the Torah rejects this attitude. Every person is born with a character flaws. So as we said before many times, there are no perfect people, but Torah is telling us what we need to change. It is our mission of life to change, to grow, and strive to perfection and spirituality. We all want to rid ourselves of our imperfections. People do want to be good. What makes life so challenging is that negative character traits are blinding. Right, so everybody wants to be good, and everybody perceive themselves as good or very, very good. Right? People do want to, as it says, that people do want to be good. Right? What makes a life challenging is that the negative character traits that are blind. So meaning people do not see the flaws. Right? We either lose sight of what our goals should be or rationalize to the point that we simply cannot differentiate between right and wrong. One of the greatest gifts Hashem has blessed us with is companionship. Friends, family, people around us who are close enough to care. Close enough to care. Yet distance enough to be objective. So meaning friends, family, right? People around us, they're close enough to care. So meaning that they're going to tell us something that they think that we're doing wrong, right? And on the same time to be objective. To abstain from speaking up and offending one another, and offending one another reproof, and guidance amounts to deprive one another of one of the most valuable tools for professional growth. Let me read this sentence one more time. To abstain from speaking up, to abstain, meaning when a person is not speaking up, and offering one another reproof. So when one person does not talk to others, then does not reprove him, right? Does not rebuke him. And guidance amounts to depriving one another of the most valuable tools for personal growth. Meaning, if we're not going to tell each other what is wrong with us and how it looks from the side, and so people basically never going to change, right? And it's a valuable tool when, especially when somebody is knowledgeable next to you and he's telling you what he thinks is wrong. So we have to listen to them, and that's how we can change. That's how we can grow. We must get involved, and when necessary, even enlist the involvement of the others in helping people through the struggles in life. Let me read one more time and try to explain. We must get involved. So meaning volunteer. So even if we're not asked, right? Get involved, and when necessary, even enlist the involvement of others in helping people through the struggles of life. So sometimes our expertise, our relationship with a person would not allow us to, or prevent us from rebuke him, or we don't have enough experience, let's say. So sometimes we need to get involve somebody else, right? But why? As we started, because we care, because we want to help that person. Remaining silent when reproof is called for is not shmiras halashon. It is depriving one's fellow of his lifeline to self-improvement. So it's very nice, right? I'm going to read one more time to explain. Remaining silent when reproof is called for. So when a person, he knows, he understands. So when he goes like this approach, right? Is not shmiras halashon. It is depriving one's fellow of his lifeline in a self-improvement. So basically, it's not like you respect the person or something. So you actually like you remove from a chance, you're taking away from him a chance to ever change. As a thing. Okay. So
Rabbi.
Yes.
Question. I think it was the Baal Shem Tov who said that, let's say when you see something bad in another person, right? You're looking in a mirror or something like that, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But my question is, when do we say that, and when do we say when a person rightfully judges someone that he's not doing correctly?
Okay, so you're asking what is the difference if I see this issue with him, so maybe I have the same issue, correct? That's what you're asking. So should I rebuke him, or should I not rebuke him? Right? That's the question.
Exactly, because what's it called? Sometimes, because if you judge a person too harshly, wrongfully, for example, Hashem will judge you the same. So when do you know how to judge?
No. One second. You're not judging anyone. You're not judging anyone. That's how we started today. Whatever you do, you're trying to do for his good.
I understand.
You're trying to help the person. It's not like you're against anybody, against the person. The opposite is true. For example, me personally, if I do not care about somebody, I would keep quiet. I would not tell him how wrong he came. But if I care about someone, so I would tell him even some minor things. Not very small, but I will try to tell him. Why? Because I care. You understand? That's a big difference.
Understand.
Okay, so let's see. So we start Halachos of Brochos. So we can skip the acknowledgement 1 second. Okay, let's do preface. Okay. So preface, page number 1. So it says the essence of a bracha. So right away we start this commentary. This preface is based on to a large degree on an essay of Hagaon Rav Shlomo Wolbe in his Sefer Alai Shur. Okay, and on the writing of Rabbeinu Bachia. Although it is entitled "The Essence of a Bracha," it does not begin to scratch the surface of the profundity of that is embodied in a bracha. Okay, so let's begin. Be'Ezrat Hashem. So it says that don't throw stones into a well from which you drink. It says in Talmud Bava Kama, page 92b. Okay. Rashi states, since the rivers protected Moshe as an infant, The plague were brought them by Moshe. 1 second. Okay, so 1 second. Join. Okay. So Israel was with us. So I'm going to read this sentence one more time. So it says so we just started in your new book. So it says Rashi states, since the rivers protected Moshe as an infant, the plague were not brought upon them by Moshe. Rather, the plague of the blood, as well as the plague of the frogs, were inflicted through the Aaron. So basically, it's a famous thing that since now river, right, it saved Moshe, so he was not allowed to be ungrateful and bring curses on them and through them. Okay, so Aaron, his brother, had to do it. In a similar vein, Rashi explains the passage. And Hashem said to Moshe, say to Aaron, take your staff and smite the sand, and there shall be lice in the entire land of Egypt, as follows. It was not appropriate for the sand to have been smeared by Moshe, because the sand shielded him by concealing the body of the Egyptian whom he killed. The Torah is giving us a lesson of derech eretz. Don't throw stones into a well from which you drank. So basically, that's another famous story that Moshe killed this Egyptian. Not physically, he pronounced the name of Hashem, and by this name he killed this Egyptian, and the ground covered the body of this Egyptian. So basically, in appreciation of this to the ground, right? So he was not allowed to curse the ground. Okay. So talking about appreciation, basically, if somebody or something, in this case, it's inanimate objects, were good to you, right? So you have to be grateful to them. Continue. The extent to which one is obligated to express his appreciation is awesome. Water and sand are oblivious of the appreciation being expressed to them, right? So I mean, they don't have feelings, they don't have memory, they don't understand, right? So okay, so even water and what did this say? The sand. Okay. If there is an obligation to show appreciation to inanimate objects, how much stronger is the obligation to show appreciation to a human benefactor? How much stronger still is the obligation to express appreciation to Hashem, the ultimate benefactor? So that's I think the idea is very clear. So, learn from the Torah that you have to be. Moshe showed appreciation to the water and to the sand. So needless to say, he and we should have appreciation to humans that benefited us. A child of the tree can say thank you to his parent, especially if the parent instructs the child to do so. If the person grows in wisdom, as a person grows in wisdom, experience and sensitivity, his appreciation deepens. And his expression of the gratitude are no longer something that he does by rote. As a wise and sensitive adult, he can express his gratitude in a meaningful way. So, okay, the 3 years old, say thank you, train him many times. You see parents say, what should you say? They say, thank you. Right? So you see, okay, so parents do the right thing, the train person, but when he grows, he does need a reminder of his mommy when he's 20 years old. So he has to have his own wisdom and not only say thank you, but maybe repay to that person in some way, right? Many 3-year-old children recite Brachos. So from 3 years old, I mean, they already know a lot. If you learn with them, what is the lost what a lost opportunity it would be if person expressed his gratitude to Hashem thousands of times in his lifetime with a sensitivity and a depth of 3-year-old. So basically, okay, the 3-year-old can say bracha, but okay, his intention, I know he wants to eat, he wants to drink. So the parents told him to say the bracha. Okay, after he says this, whatever he says, he does not understand. He can have this chocolate, right? So he's going to say whatever you want him to say. But adults should not be like that. Right, as it says very beautifully say, I'm going to read it again. It's beautiful. It said, what is the lost opportunity it would be if a person expressed his gratitude to Hashem thousands of times in his lifetime with a sensitivity and depth of 3-year-old. Growth starts simply considering the meaning of the words of a bracha. So, okay, you're 3-year-old, you start with just pronouncing the word, trying to remember what bracha to make, but later on you're supposed to learn what these words mean. The words Baruch Atah are often misunderstood to mean bless you, okay, or praise you, Hashem. To presume that Hashem could benefit from our praise is completely illogical. Would we take a notice of a compliment being offered to us by a microbe? The Rishonim explained that the word Baruch used in Bracha means source and a wellspring of, for example, you Hashem are the source of bread. You Hashem are the source of fruit, etc. So okay, so we go into the words of the bracha. So I mean, that's how all of the sidurs translate. Blessed are you, blessed are you. No, not bless you, but I think that they translate blessed are you. Right. So of course Hashem does not need our praises. He knows what he's doing. He's very good with or without us. He knows what to do. Right? So one more time, the second part. The Rishonim explained that the words Baruch, you use in the bracha means the source and the wellspring. Of, for example, you Hashem is the source of bread. You Hashem are the source of the fruit, etc. Hashem's name is written Yud K Vav K, so the 4 letters, right? Which signifies he was, he is, and he will be always, and he will always be. So I mean, it's a side point but we never spoke about it, but that's what these 4 letters mean. Yud K Vav K, right? So if you like split into different words, that's what they mean. That he was, he is, and he will be. It is recited Adoi, which signifies master of all. Okay. Many poskim rule that upon saying Hashem's name, one must be mindful of both meanings of his names. For there is he was, he is, and he will be, and the master of all. Okay, so many poskim say, so when you say Adoi, right? So what should you think? That he was, he is, and he will be, and plus that he is the master of all. The word Elokeinu, our God, means that he is almighty, or capable, and all-powerful. According to many poskim, one is required to be mindful of this meaning each and every time he recites the word Elokeinu in a bracha. So don't just speak the bracha like
Can I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
In the when I wake up, I read that you cannot pronounce any name of Hashem without doing Netilat Yadayim. So Modéani does not include this name of any name of Hashem.
Correct. Yes.
So you must you wash your teeth before saying any name of?
Yes, correct. Yes.
And which of these names applies? Every name, every language?
All of the names. All of the names. Yes.
Okay.
Rabbi,
Okay. Yes.
do you have to? I read in Halacha that someone can say Hashem can say the Brachos while he's in bed if he was what's it called? If he was sleeping with his clothes on, because he didn't touch. It's assumed that he didn't touch anything bad. So my question is like this: but he didn't do Netilat Yadayim yet, and he still has demons on his hands or whatever. So it's not a problem.
No, it depends when did it happen. For example, so the Netilat Yadayim, we have to wash our hands only in the morning. So if he woke up in the middle of the night, he went to the bathroom, for example, and he came back, so he can say Asher Yotzer in the bed. So, but those are two different things. He asked about when a person wakes up. So in this case, you need to wash your hands and wash your mouth, and it's the same in the middle of the night. So if you have like a bad taste in the mouth, right? For example, somebody's sick, right? So he has I don't know, this sore throat, right? And he has all of the like bad taste in the mouth. So you cannot say Hashem's name with this thing. You have to rinse your mouth and then say Hashem's name.
Sorry, if that's the same if we think the blessing or the little prayer?
Exactly. So I mean we're going to get to it, but just to answer the question. So when you say the blessing, your mouth should be empty from all of these things. So you have to saliva. So you have to swallow saliva. It's something bad, so you have to spit out the bad. But you cannot say like when you feel disgusting in your mouth, and you cannot pronounce Hashem's name. So the proper way, I would say, just go rinse your mouth. Like if it's in the middle of the night, for example, you went to the bathroom, and now you want to say this blessing after the bathroom. So rinse your mouth and then say the blessing. You don't have to brush with this, but at least like fresh water. If it's freshen up your breath, that's enough.
Wait, Rabbi, but let's say there's no problem in your mouth or anything. Like let's say there's no like dry saliva or something nasty. Do you still have to wash out your mouth?
No, you're not. We say if there is a bad taste in the mouth, so you should not say. But if there is like I know, let's say you slept 15-20 minutes, and then you feel the urge to go to the bathroom, you don't have the bad taste after 20 minutes, right? So in this case, you're not obligated to. There's no problem.
Understood.
Okay, so we go. We go very deeply word by word. We try to understand. So let me read this Elokeinu one more time. This paragraph of Elokeinu. The word Elokeinu, our God, means that He's almighty, all capable, all powerful. According to many paskim, one is required to be mindful of the meaning each and every time when he recites the word Elokeinu in a bracha. Right? Each and every time. When he says Melech Kohan, King of the universe, right? We address the fact that not only did Hashem created a particular item that we are about to eat, but He actively managed its location and the distribution. Figuratively speaking, the creator stamps every apple with address and of the person for whom it is intended. So when we say there is Melech Haolam, so we say Hashem created this apple. Let's say we're talking about apple, and He sustained the tree, and He did everything to preserve this apple until it came all the way to me. Yeah, you understand? So it's when we say this blessing, we have to have the complete picture in mind. Okay. So let's see, did I miss anything? Okay, continue. In a closing phrase of the bracha, the form of the verb indicates that the action took place in the past and currently taking place. Okay, so for example, the word borei does not mean he created, but rather he created and continues to create. So I mean, in English, there is no such a thing, but okay, you read. So okay, so borei meaning that he created and he continues to create. What we are saying is that Hashem not only created the universe and all it contains, but also continues to actively cause it to exist. So that's a very important principle in Judaism, that Hashem recreates the whole universe like every second, right? And everything, every second. If for a fraction of a second, He, meaning Hashem, were to stop or willing everything into being, so of course he does not create like in a physical sense, but will, just in his mind. Whatever it means in his mind, he's willing, whatever it means, we're not going to go into it now, right? So if he, for 1 second, decided not to will, so everybody is going to stop. Basically, the whole world is going to stop, right? Then people, matter, and the entire universe would simply disappear into nothingness. Okay, that's if he would stop for 1 second. So there is one commentary. This concept of what would happen if Hashem were to stop willing us into existence is best illustrated by the following example. An old man is having a dream. In his dream, two people are having a conversation. Okay, so let's see. The first person is discussing his house, the neighborhood, and a problem he is encountering with one of his children's teachers. The second person talks about a new car, challenges at work, and possibly moving on to another state. Suddenly, a thought flashes through the second person's mind, and he breaks out of in a cold sweat. Do you realize, he said, that our houses, our jobs, our cars, our families, our whole world is in jeopardy? We exist only if this old man's dream. As soon as he wakes up, our existence is over. So it's I think it's very interesting, like interesting example, right? So they say like two people, person has a dream, and then two people in his dream, so they discover things, but they understand themselves that they're part of his dream. Okay, so and they realize as soon as this guy wakes up, that's it, they're out completely. Matter, energy, and universe is continuously being willed into existence by Hashem. Were he to decide not to do so, we, like the people in a dream, would simply cease being. Okay, so I think it's a good explanation. So continue. 1 second. It's the next page. Yes, next page. Okay, continue. Thus, the remarkable opportunity exists to express one's gratitude in a profound and meaningful way, simply by understanding the meaning of the words being recited. So how we should express our gratitude? First, of course, we have to say bracha, even if you do not understand. So you can do it in your own language, there is no problem, right? But the goal is to understand exactly what we're saying. The Talmud refers to yet another dimension of the making brachos. Making a bracha sets into effect the mechanism which causes shefa, abundance, plenty, shefa is abundance, to be released to mankind. So every time we're saying thanks, it's not only to us, but to the whole mankind. When a righteous person makes a replica aids, for example, the food crops becomes plentiful. It's actually that's what I learned with another group. It's Netilat Yadayim, chapter 26. That's he's speaking about this. When a righteous person makes a bracha, it's the whole fruit crop becomes plentiful. So it's blessing on everything. Okay. So it's not only being grateful, but also you bless the whole crops. Okay, continue. Reb Hanina Bar Papa said, anyone who derives pleasure from this world without making bracha is in a sense stealing from Hashem, stealing from his fellow Jew and a comrade of Yeravam ben Nebat. Okay, so let's try that understand. So Rav Hanina Bar Papa said, so everyone does not say bracha, he's stealing from Hashem because why he's stealing, the way I understand is because when we thank Hashem, we acknowledge that it is his and he gave it to us. Okay, I worked, I sweat and I went to the store, I got the money from my job and I went to the store and bought it. Okay, it's all very good, but after all, Hashem actually produced it, right? And he made me able to go to work, to make this money, to go to the store and stuff like that. Okay, so when he is not grateful and he does not acknowledge that it came from Hashem, so he's stealing from Hashem, stealing from his fellow Jew, meaning that there is no blessing on the produce, and compare in a comrade of Yeravam ben Nebat. So Yeravam ben Nebat, I think if I remember correctly, he was the first king in the northern kingdom. Yeravam, one of the Shlomo's ministers, became king when the large part of the nation revolted against King Shlomo's son. Yeravam introduced idol worship in a Jewish nation. So it's like the first idol worshiper. I think he was from tribe of Ephraim, right? And I mean before that, in times of the Shlomo, so everybody were religious, but this guy, it's a long story, but basically he introduced the idol worship because he was afraid of his position if people would go to Yerushalayim. Okay, so continue. Yeravam's philosophy, many autonomous forces govern worldly events. So he said there is not only Hashem, but there is some other forces. These forces were not subject to Hashem direct control. When one takes food without making a bracha, he's demonstrated that he subscribed to the similar philosophy. Right? So he said it was Hashem and plus the golden calf and other things. So basically, there are many things that govern the world. Okay, it is as if he is saying that the food evolved naturally. He's declaring that autonomous force called the nature, rather than direct management of Hashem, produce the food which he is eating. So nature is a part of Hashem. Teva, right? I think it's Teva is nature. I think it's gematria is 72 or 71, but we count as 72, which is the name of Hashem. Yeravam is synonymous with one who transgresses and causes others to transgress. So meaning that he put these two golden calves, one in the south of his kingdom and one in the north, or all the way in, I think it was in Dan's territory, and people worship them. Says Rashi, a person who do not make a bracha invariably causes others to do the same. Maybe they see him not making the bracha. I'm not sure what, but that's what I think. Okay, so continue to see. One second. By neglecting to make a bracha, he not only withholds the expression of gratitude due to Hashem, he also causes the flow of the abundance to be withheld from his fellow Jew. Okay, so it's not only he being ungrateful; it's as they say, all other people also suffer. So the way I understand, so when Hashem created this apple was not created by itself; it was created on an apple tree, right? So and many other people were supposed to benefit from it properly until this guy decided not to say bracha. Okay. Continue. Many people aspire to become Yirei Shamayim. So aspire meaning that many people want. They found this idea like very, very interesting. And that's what they want to do. Aspire to become Yirei Shamayim. Chazal analyzes the passage. And you, Israel, what does Hashem ask of you? But to fear Hashem your God. So I mean, yeah. So I think it's Moshe speaking. So he said, "What? Like, it's only a small thing. Well, what Hashem wants for just to be God-fearing people. What else? I mean, it's such an easy thing." So I think our Rashi, or I think it's Rashi explains. So since he was on such a great level of God-fearing, so for him it was so obvious. I mean, we have to work on it because, as Rabbi Reuben said many times, fear of God is not is the only fear that is not natural to a person. All our other fears are natural. We're afraid of I don't know, bugs, spiders, or snakes, dogs, like I don't know, wild animals, all of the other things. Terrorists or the viruses and stuff like that, it's all natural, but afraid of Hashem is not natural. So that's why people have to work on it. But for Moshe, it was obvious, right? So, right. So he one more time he said, "And now Israel, what does Hashem ask of you, but to fear Hashem your God, and derive from it that one is obligated to make at least 100 brachas a day." Right. Okay, continue. Thus, the frequent act of making a bracha, when done correctly, is a foolproof means for the instilling in oneself yiras shamayim. Okay, so it's all connected. So 100 brachas a day. Others say 100 blessing came from David actually. Right, when people were dying, so he instituted to say 100 blessings.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's better not to say in blessing. I mean, say every time we eat something, apple, bread, whatever. We must say every time, because sometimes, for example, Rav Revan said, "I made the bracha before for water." But for example, for other food, apple or bread or vegetable, we must we say every time is better?
No, it's I don't have simple answer to a question. So we have to learn in this book. We're going to say in some cases you are required to say separate bracha. In some cases it's absolutely forbidden to say extra bracha. And some brachas, when we say on this, let's say it's going to cover this food, but in some cases you say on this, and it's going to exclude others. So it's not, there is no simple one-line answer to the question.
For example, if I made, I eat a vegetable, I made the bracha, and then this was midday. Then at noon and evening, I ate again vegetables. I can say I made the bracha before and not.
No. Those are two different meals, so you have to say different brachos. Yes, this is clear case.
Okay.
So, but what bracha to make? For example, if you have apple and banana, and you have I don't know, tea. So what bracha to make, and in what sequence? That's what we're going to learn in this book. That's why we picked this book, because it's very important to know all the details. Okay. So okay. So what we said so far, I mean, not so far in this paragraph, that the person should strive to make 100 brachas, and it should bring him to Yiras Shamayim. So basically, what we're trying to say, of course, to say unnecessary bracha is very bad. So it's better for a person not to make bracha, like in a case of the doubt, right, than to make unnecessary bracha. Okay, so it's like we have to be careful. Continue. There is a big task that has been handed to us: the obligation to pause and focus on reality at least 100 times a day, at least. The reality that Hashem was, is, and always will be, that He gave us our bodies and our souls, our Torah and our mitzvahs. There is He who continuously wills us and every atom in the of the matter into existence. And it is He who is constantly showering us with pleasures. Okay, so what does it says here? So okay, let me read one more time. Maybe we'll explain line by line, because it's a lot of information here. It is a big task that has been handed to us: the obligation to pause and focus on reality at least 100 times a day. So this 100 times a day, and it's not only blessings on food. Don't take it wrong. So it's not like that you have to eat the whole day. No, it's all of the blessings means up to the bathroom is a blessing. Morning blessings. When we say Shmona Esrei, we have blessings, right? So if you pray Shmona Esrei 3 times a day, so it's 3 times 19, right? If you listen to repetition of the Chazan, you have another one. Another was it 28, right? So I mean, and plus you answer to Kaddish and stuff like that. So all of these things are actually counted. Okay, so to the number of 100. Continue. The reality that Hashem was, is, and always will be, and He gave our bodies and our souls, our Torah and our mitzvahs. That it is He who is continually wills us and every atom of the matter into existence, and it is He who is constantly showering us with pleasure. So if you start from the beginning of the sentence, so first of all, you have to understand that He gives us all these pleasures, and we have to be grateful, right? And not only He gives us pleasure, but He gives us opportunity to enjoy all of these pleasures, right? So, for example, if person has money to eat good food, but he's very sick, right? So this food is not good for him, or I don't know, or he cannot enjoy it, or he cannot chew, or I don't know what's going on with this person. So we have to be grateful for all of these things combined. It is our obligation to seize these profound opportunities and to use them to express our acknowledgement of the gratitude in a bracha, meaningful way. So basically, like every time when we say bracha, we have to understand what's going on, how many things, small, little, tiny things Hashem had to take care of for us to be able to enjoy this moment. Okay, next piece on studying Hilchos Brachos. Hilchos is laws, right? Laws of the Brochos. The Talmud states, one who derives benefit from this world without for making a bracha is mo'al, guilty and sinfully embezzling from Hashem. So person who derives benefit from this world, so any physical benefit, right? That derives a benefit from this world without making bracha is guilty of sinful embezzling from Hashem. What is the remedy? Let him go to someone who can teach him Hilchos Brachos, so that he may avoid the embezzlement before he starts. So basically, when the question is asked, okay, so if I don't know what the bracha to say, first of all, buy this book, right? And at the end it says what bracha to make on each food, or buy a similar book. I think Rabbi Reuven he recommended a different book, but I have this book, so it's doesn't matter. So you find the Talmid Chacham, you find somebody, you have to find a source from whom you can learn what bracha to make, basically. That's what it says. So if you do not know, so don't eat until you learn what bracha to make. Very simple. The Maharsha explained that this pronouncement was made specifically with regard to the study of Birchas Chanechanim, the bracha made on food, drink, and smell. So that's when we say enjoyment, that's physical, that's what it means. Food, drink, and smell. Since there are many intricacies involved in their use. So as we said, this book, of course, it's English is in Hebrew, so I'm not sure how many books, 500 pages more, 600, like a lot of pages, basically, on what bracha to make. Okay. When making a birchas chanechanim, uncertainties often arise whether the wrong bracha is made. So, I mean, he was not sure was it made of, right? In these cases, it is as if he has not made the bracha at all, if he does not know. Or worse yet, the bracha is bracha levatala, like extra, right? And not extra, unnecessary bracha. Therefore, let him study the Hilchos Brachos and review his studies until he becomes proficient in these halachas. So if he, for example, if he has to make 3 brachas on whatever he eats, right? So he has to make 3 brachas. If he made 2 brachas instead of 3, and none of them cover whatever the third food that he ate, so he stole from Hashem. Okay. So let me see.
A question here.
Go ahead.
So as far as I understood, it's worse to say God's name in vain than to maybe stealing when eating and we are unsure.
Yes. It's actually one of the 10 commandments not to take the name of you got in vain.
So stealing comes next, after.
Yes, still, but still there. It's not exactly stealing. I mean,
because Rabbi Lev
direct
said
sense.
that it is better not to say God's name in vain. He said that in a Shiur.
Exactly. So I mean, it's in some sense it's like catch-22, right? So you have to say bracha, but you have to say correct bracha. So basically that's why we learn. So sometimes you're not sure. So before you eat, you can check. Today we have different resources. So in olden days, you would go to rabbi or you go to somebody knowledgeable and ask him a question. So today, many times you have you have books or you have reliable websites. When you have check, you can check what blessing to make, right? Or today, for example, you can contact the kasher agency, whoever kasher that item, what was. Right, and you can ask them what bracha to make. So sometimes it's not clear what bracha to make, and they have to tell you what bracha to make. You understand? But you cannot start eating until you determine what bracha to make. If that's all food you have, and it's pikuach nefesh, that's a different story. But other like Rabbi says this example many times that somebody. Send him a wrapper from a candy, I don't know from what, and he said, this person asked, is it kosher? So Rabbi Reuben asked, like, what happened to the candy? But this guy said, no, I ate it. So first you ate and then you ask. No, that's not Jewish way. First we try to investigate, we try to understand what bracha to make, and then you eat, right? So. Of course, there is, in the case of the need, you say shehako, that should cover everything, but it's only like when you have no choice and there is no way for you to check. For example, today is Shabbos, today holidays, and there is the only food available and you're not sure. But otherwise, I go through this.
Not very clear for me when we have clear, for example, potato and other mixture. If we can say all the brachot.
So again, when you have potato with what? Mixed with what?
Mixture with, for example, potatoes, fish, tomatoes, olives. We can we say all the brachas needed, or one is enough?
It depends. If it's one dish, for example, I don't know, maybe you take out the tomatoes, potato with fish. I don't know, is it such kind of salad? I don't know, maybe there is such a salad. So we're going to learn later on. So in some cases, yes, you say one bracha on a majority, right? But in some cases, so if you like fish better and fish is minority, right? So you say on a fish. So we're going to get into details, but it's not so straightforward. So I mean, many things straightforward, and many depends on your personal preference. You understand? Okay, so we can stop here. So any questions on this subject different, please go ahead.
Different topic, may.
Go ahead, yes, yeah, go ahead, yes.
About the Mashiach, will he be able to get inside the Beit HaMikdash like a Kohan?
He cannot be a Kohen because we know that he's a king. Kings come from Yehuda, right? But he would be able to purify people. That's a different story. I think Eliyahu Hanavi, who is an angel and a person, he would be able to purify Mashiach, and Mashiach would be able to purify the rest of the people, I think. That's at least he doesn't need to do the rest of the people, but just the Kohanim. And Kohanim can finish the job. So that's we just need to start. That's why we need the Eliyahu Hanavi.
And I ask this.
Have human, have angel. That's and who never died. Otherwise, all of the people impure. So impure people cannot purify other people. So we need somebody who is alive, who is a human, and who is pure. And it's only Eliyahu Hanavi. Go ahead.
And I ask this because I read that when all Jews were going to Beit HaMikdash, they were allowed to certain extent a certain section of the temple, not every section.
Exactly.
So I was wondering if the Mashiach will be able to access every corner of the temple.
I don't think so. No, the laws do not change.
Only the Kohanim.
He's not a Kohen. He's not a Kohen. He's not a Levi. He's a king. So there is some prerogatives for a king. King is the only king from the tribe of Yehuda. He's the only one who is allowed to sit in a court of the Beit HaMikdash. That's it. That's the only difference. All other people must stand. So if somebody is weak, so stay home. What can we do? Today in the synagogue, if somebody was weak and they taken the Torah scroll out, everybody must rise. That's right. So when Torah is in motion, right? But there's weak people that they can sit. I mean, it's not their fault. Or elderly people. Weak elderly. Yeah. But in the Beit HaMikdash, basically, if you're weak, if you cannot stand, stay home.
This was I'm not sure which holiday or event is this, when people from all over Israel came to the Beit HaMikdash. And I remember now that it was told that even the king must at certain point must be take some caution.
He must take what? I didn't get
some precaution or caution or something like that.
About what?
I'm not sure how to express this, but the stories say that he was carrying something like a regular person inside the Beit HaMikdash.
And what? It's okay. So he was carrying, and so what? I didn't get.
And so then I wonder again this question: if Mashiach will be able to access sections of the temple that are allowed only to the Kohanim.
No. The laws do not change. The laws do not change. These laws of the Torah were given us forever, until the end of the days. Okay. What else? All right. So if no more questions, so let's stop here. So until this Sunday. So Sunday probably we're going to do class a little earlier. So we'll see. We will talk. And Sunday is a night actually, Ashana Rabbah, when we learn the whole night. So Be'Ezrat Hashem. So from Sunday to Monday we stay up the whole night. So we're going to talk, right? So let's stop here. Let me stop recording.